Most people go to sleep and leave their entire reality on autopilot. They drift off, unaware that in those moments between wakefulness and sleep, they're holding the key to unlocking miracles. But what if I told you there's a specific SATS technique, state akin to sleep, that's so powerful? It can turn your mind into a miracle magnet and your bed into an altar where desires are commanded into existence. This isn't just visualization. This isn't wishful thinking. This is about accessing the subconscious at the most fertile, receptive, and dangerous moment of your day. And I say dangerous for a reason. Because if you misuse this SATS technique, if you go to bed rehearsing pain, fear, or lack, you'll magnetize those very things into your life with terrifying precision. But if you do it the right way, the Neville Goddard way, but with a modern twist I'm about to reveal, you'll awaken in a reality that bends around your beliefs like clay in your hands. Let me ask you, what do you rehearse when you close your eyes at night? Do you replay arguments, feel guilt, worry about money, or do you intentionally enter the scene of your fulfilled desire and feel it as real? Because here's the secret no one told you. SATS isn't about thinking positive. It's about feeling possession. You must feel as if you already have the thing. And then you must fall asleep in that state. This is too powerful to be casual about. If you're ready to master this technique and turn your subconscious into a manifestation machine, pause this video and hit subscribe now. Because what you're about to learn doesn't exist anywhere else on YouTube. This is too powerful to be treated with indifference. If you're ready to master this technique and transform your subconscious into a manifestation machine, pause this video and click subscribe now. Because what you're about to learn does not exist anywhere else on YouTube. Subscribe. Comment. I am ready. Share this with one person with whom you want to manifest greatness. Because believe me, if you keep this to yourself, the universe will notice. If you've ever felt that your manifestations are unpredictable, this is the missing piece. Now let's dive in. You see, most people imagine a scene, but they imagine it like it's far away. A wish, a someday, a maybe. But the subconscious doesn't respond to maybe. It responds to now. And during SATS, the few seconds between wakefulness and sleep, your conscious mind lets go of resistance. Your brain moves into theta, and your subconscious becomes unguarded, like a door left wide open in the middle of the night. So here's the technique they don't teach you in books. You don't just see yourself driving the dream car. You don't just imagine the bank account number. You must compress the scene into a loop, so it plays automatically in your mind as you drift. That loop should last no more than 8 seconds. It should be emotionally loaded, and it should feel like a memory you're recalling, not a fantasy you're inventing. Let's say you want to manifest $10,000. Instead of imagining getting the money, you create a short scene of you excitedly telling a friend, "I can't believe it. $10,000 just landed in my account today." Feel the weight of those words. Replay that phrase in your mind again and again until your body believes it already happened. And right as you fall asleep, let that loop play. Because what happens next is when the real magic begins. As you drift into sleep, the loop continues, not in your conscious mind, but in the deep, impressionable layers of the subconscious. This is where the seeds are planted, where reality, your reality, is written. Your body may be asleep, but your energetic field is still active. It's vibrating with the emotion you fell asleep in. And the universe? It's responding, it's rearranging, it's obeying. Remember this, you don't get what you want in life. You get what you are. And if you fall asleep as the version of you who already has it, the success, the health, the love, the money, then you wake up in a world that must reflect that identity. It's law. You are literally altering timelines, collapsing quantum possibilities into a single dominant thread, the one where your desire is real. Let me give you a real example. A client of mine, let's call her Alicia, was buried in debt, anxious every night. She tried affirmations, vision boards, journaling. Nothing worked until she used the SATS loop technique. She chose one scene, standing in her kitchen, smiling, saying out loud, "I'm debt-free." Finally, I did it. That's it. Every night, for just 8 seconds, she looped it. She felt the relief, the tears in her eyes, the weight lifted off her chest. Within 42 days, she received a surprise settlement from a forgotten insurance claim. It cleared her debt. Every penny. Coincidence? You already know the answer to that. But here's the truth few will admit. Not everyone can do this. Most people will hear this and do nothing. Because it sounds simple. Too simple. But that's the trap. Simplicity doesn't mean it's weak. It means the door is open. But you still have to walk through it. So here's your next step. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to do this. Pick one desire, just one. No scattered energy. Craft a short scene that implies it's already real. Load it with emotion, not begging, not hoping, but the satisfaction of already having it. Loop it for 8 seconds, and then fall asleep in the feeling. Don't analyze. Don't overthink. Just be it. And if you want accountability, leave a comment below with just 3 words. It is done. You'll be surprised how powerful it feels to declare that publicly. And you'll be even more surprised by what begins to shift within 72 hours. Now, let's talk about why SATS fails for some people. Because you need to understand this. You can't fake the feeling. You might say the right words. Imagine the right scene. But if underneath it all, you still feel unworthy, still doubt it could happen to you, then your subconscious will reject it like a foreign object. So the trick is emotional authenticity. Don't force joy. Feel relief. Don't fake gratitude. Tap into peace. Pick the emotion you naturally associate with having it, and let that guide your loop. Here's another client story. Mark, an actor, wanted to land a breakthrough role, but he had deep insecurities. He didn't think he was good enough. So instead of visualizing the standing ovation or the premiere red carpet, he chose a simple loop. Walking out of the casting office, breathing deeply, whispering to himself, "I nailed it. They saw me. I know I've got this." That feeling, confidence, certainty, calm knowing. He looped it nightly. 10 days later, his agent called with an offer. This is the power of calibrating your SATS loop to real emotion. Still with me? That's how I know you're serious about this. This isn't just a motivational video for you. You're here because you're ready to rewrite your reality from the inside out. And that's why I want to personally invite you to join the deeper level experience, the SATS Miracle Code Activation Series. Inside, we break down the exact neural science behind SATS. You'll learn how to unlock emotional anchors, how to bypass negative loops, and how to turn your entire sleep cycle into a manifestation vortex. Register below. No fluff, no filler, just pure tested techniques that work, if you work them. And for the first 50 who register this week, you'll receive a bonus, a custom SATS audio file designed to guide you into theta with your own desire embedded in the background. It's time you stopped just dreaming and started creating while you dream. Now let's take this even deeper. there's a lesser-known layer to SATS most people overlook, and it has to do with something called residual emotional echo. Here's what that means. Even when you fall asleep imagining a positive scene, if you've spent the last 16 hours of your day filled with fear, anger, or doubt, that residue echoes in the subconscious. So your SATS practice must begin before your head hits the pillow. It starts with what I call the pre-SATS purge. Think of it like clearing the stage before a performance. Here's how you do it. Identify your dominant negative emotion of the day. Acknowledge it. Speak it out loud. Then neutralize it, either through journaling, deep breath work, or a quick affirmation. I release this. It no longer belongs to me. Only then do you begin your SATS loop. Why is this so critical? Because emotion is the glue of manifestation, and whatever emotional charge you go to sleep with becomes the signal your subconscious amplifies overnight. Imagine going to sleep as if your desire is already real, but with no static in the signal. The purity of that message, it becomes a command the universe cannot ignore. And as you practice this over time, you begin to notice a shift. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer hope, you expect. You no longer ask, you assume. And it's in that assumption where the true miracle begins to unfold. Because assumption isn't just a belief, it's a command to reality. When you assume something is true, your subconscious doesn't argue. It doesn't hesitate. It simply obeys. It begins to bend your external world to match your internal blueprint. Silently, effortlessly, invisibly. That's why the SATS loop isn't just about falling asleep. It's about falling into identity, becoming someone new before your eyes even close. Let me share something personal. Years ago, I was struggling, lost, broke, questioning if manifestation was just hype. I knew the theories, I had the books, but nothing was changing. Until one night, out of frustration more than faith, I did something different. I imagined one scene, simple, specific, emotional. I saw myself opening an email with the subject line, "Congratulations. Your payment has been processed." I looped it. I felt it. I whispered, "It's happening," until I fell asleep. 3 days later, that exact email landed in my inbox, $4,200, from a client I hadn't heard from in over a year. That moment changed everything, because it wasn't just the money, it was the confirmation. The universe wasn't deaf. I just hadn't been speaking its language correctly. SATS is that language. Let's go deeper into the mechanics. Here's what most people miss. The subconscious speaks in 3 primary codes: emotion, imagery, repetition. SATS activates all 3, if done right. Emotion. The subconscious doesn't respond to logic. It responds to feeling. Imagery. Visuals are the subconscious mind's native language. Repetition. What is repeated becomes real. Period. Now ask yourself, what do you repeat every night without realizing it? Is it gratitude? Or is it worry? Is it a memory of success? Or a fear of failure? Because here's the hard truth. Your life right now is a reflection of the loops you've been playing in your sleep. So how do you interrupt that? How do you overwrite years, even decades, of unconscious programming? With something called scene saturation. Scene saturation is the practice of embedding your SATS loop so deeply that it becomes more real than your current situation. Here's how you do it. Pick a single scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Replay it multiple times throughout the day, not just at night. On lunch breaks, during a shower, even while brushing your teeth. Fall asleep in it, every single night, without fail. What this does is flood your subconscious with a singular message. This is who I am now. Over time, your brain can no longer tell the difference between memory and imagination. And because the subconscious can't reject what it accepts as familiar, it begins to recreate your imagined scene in the real world. This is why repetition with emotion is not just helpful, it's essential. But don't confuse this with obsession. You're not begging the universe. You're becoming the version of yourself that no longer doubts the outcome. That's what causes the shift. Before you begin your SATS loop, try this. Stand in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes and say this out loud. You already have it. You're already living it. Go to sleep and let the world catch up. This sends a final, clear signal to your subconscious that there is no need to question, only to accept. The mirror becomes a portal, not to another world, but to the version of you who already exists in the world you want. Still here? Then I know you're one of us, the ones who refuse to live on autopilot, who won't settle for crumbs, who know, deep down, that you were meant for more. That's why I'm going to share the next layer of SATS mastery with you, but only if you're ready to go beyond technique and step into the identity shift that makes it all stick. Because listen, anyone can visualize, anyone can close their eyes and picture something nice, but very few can become the person who already has it. And fewer still can hold that frequency long enough to let reality respond. But here's the truth. You can. You absolutely can. With the right guidance, with the right emotional precision, with the right ritual. And that's what I'm about to show you. In the next section, we'll talk about scene stacking. A powerful variation where you combine multiple fulfilled scenes into one seamless loop, creating a sensory overload of success that the subconscious cannot ignore. You'll learn how to stack desires without creating energetic resistance, blend visual, auditory, and kinesthetic cues for total immersion. Avoid the overwhelm trap that short-circuits most manifestations, and most importantly, how to collapse conflicting identities that secretly block your desires. Because if a part of you still identifies with the struggle, you will unconsciously reject the miracle when it arrives. That's why we must clean the inner house before we decorate it with dreams. And don't forget, remember, reality bends, but only for those who are bold enough to believe before they see. And as you fall asleep tonight, ask yourself this question. If this loop becomes my life, am I ready for it to become reality? Because once you fully commit, once you embody it, there's no going back. You're not wishing anymore. You're remembering. You're not asking. You're commanding. You're not hoping. You're assuming. And in that assumption, you start to feel it, not as a hope, not as a fantasy, but as a quiet knowing. This is who I am now. And once that shift happens, once the identity changes, the world bends to match it. You don't force it. You don't beg. You simply observe the unfolding. Because when your inner reality becomes more vivid than your outer one, the outer must submit. That's the law. Now let's talk about something powerful, something most manifestors miss entirely. Scene stacking. This is the next evolution in SATS, and it's a game changer. Think of it like layering realities, each one reinforcing the next, until the subconscious accepts your entire desired life as already real. Here's how it works. Let's say you want more than just money. You want freedom, love, health, creative success. Instead of looping one scene, you stack 3 or 4 short moments, each one tied to a different fulfilled desire, into a single flowing visual. For example, Scene 1. You open your banking app. It reads $127,000. You smile. Scene 2. You're walking hand in hand with someone you love on a quiet beach. Scene 3. You get a standing ovation after speaking on stage, tears in your eyes. Scene 4. You're stretching in the morning, pain-free, energized, joyful. You don't need 20 minutes. You only need 8 to 12 seconds of each scene, looped in sequence. Repeat the entire stack 2 to 3 times. Then, surrender into sleep. Your subconscious receives a crystal clear message. All of this is who I am now. And because there's no hierarchy of miracles, it doesn't choose which one is more realistic. It moves on all of them simultaneously. But there's a warning. Scene stacking only works if your energy is aligned, meaning the scenes must feel cohesive. There can't be a hidden contradiction between them. For example, don't imagine being fabulously wealthy, while simultaneously imagining yourself overworked and burned out. That's mixed signaling, and the universe doesn't respond to static. So before you stack your scenes, ask yourself, does this feel like the same version of me? Do all these moments belong in the same life movie? If yes, then you're ready. If not, refine your scenes. Blend them until they resonate as one authentic identity. This is where most people get stuck. They try to manifest one desire at a time, not realizing your identity holds the key to all of it. Let's take this deeper still. Have you ever noticed how your dreams sometimes reflect your dominant emotions? Not your thoughts, but your feelings. This is where theta-induced identity rewriting comes in, and it's the missing piece. When you enter the theta brainwave state, which happens right before sleep, your critical mind shuts down, and your subconscious becomes a sponge. This is the sacred window, and most people waste it. They fall asleep worrying, doom scrolling, thinking about unpaid bills or conversations that never happened. But if you use this window with precision, you can download an entirely new self into your subconscious in under 10 minutes a night. Here's how. The Theta Rewire Ritual, TRR. Use this nightly for 21 days and watch your life begin to reformat. Unplug from external input 30 minutes before bed. No news, no notifications, no distractions. Sit or lie in complete stillness. Breathe slowly. Let your body feel heavy. Begin your stacked scene loop. Start with one emotion, like relief, love, or gratitude, and build from there. Whisper your identity phrase, something like, "I'm already living it. This is my normal now. Everything is responding to me." Fall asleep inside the new self. No conclusions, no analysis, just being it. When you repeat this, you're not just visualizing, you're installing a new personality, and that personality attracts a matching life. Because the world isn't reflecting what you want, it's reflecting who you are. Think about this. If you wanted to shift into wealth, health, joy, or love, would you just try to get those things? Or would you become someone for whom they are normal? That's the secret. That's what Neville meant when he said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." He didn't say to hope for it. He said to assume it. That one word changes everything. And when you sleep in that assumption, your life reorients around it, effortlessly, organically, undeniably. And remember, if this is landing for you, if you feel something clicking inside, something awakening, don't keep this to yourself. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next phase of this journey. And most importantly, share this video with someone you care about. Because miracles multiply when they're witnessed. Your transformation might be the permission someone else has been praying for. And for those who are ready to go beyond YouTube and into the practice, because there's one final piece to this puzzle, one truth that, when fully understood, changes the game forever. You're not attracting, you're selecting. The reality you desire already exists, right now, on another frequency. You don't need to build it. You only need to tune into it. And the dial? The tuner? It's your state of being before sleep. This is not about doing more. It's about being different. And as you master this night after night, you'll wake up in a life that feels more and more like your dream. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. And in tomorrow's continuation, we're going to reveal the reality lock-in method, how to solidify changes after manifestation occurs, so you don't bounce back to your old timeline out of habit. Because manifesting the miracle is only part one. Keeping it? That's where true mastery begins. You've done the inner work. You've tuned the dial. You've dropped into the loop, night after night. And now, you start to notice the shift. At first, it's subtle, a strange coincidence, a kind message from someone unexpected, a problem that seemed impossible, dissolving. Then it gets louder, more precise. Money arrives, opportunities align. You wake up smiling without knowing why. This isn't luck, this isn't magic, this is alignment. This is the evidence of your assumed identity showing up in real time. Because once you've rehearsed success in the theater of your mind, reality has no choice but to join the performance. Let's lock it in now. Welcome to the reality lock-in method. This is the final, often overlooked phase of manifestation mastery. You've imagined, you've felt, you've believed. Now, you anchor. Here's how. Celebrate immediately when the desire manifests, not with shock, not with disbelief, but with calm confidence. Like, of course it arrived. This is normal now. Reinforce it through self-talk. Say aloud, this is just the beginning. More is already on the way. This is my new standard. Revisualize the outcome again, but as a memory. Replay the exact SATS scene that manifested. Not as a hope this time, but as a moment already lived. This does two powerful things. It signals to your subconscious. This is safe. Keep it. It builds neural familiarity, so your mind doesn't reject the new outcome as temporary. Think of it as emotional glue. It binds the miracle to your identity so it doesn't slip away. Because if you react to a miracle with surprise, fear, or disbelief, you may unconsciously push it away. That's why normalization is key. Success must feel natural, not a rare event, not an anomaly, but a rhythm, a frequency, a lifestyle. And if you want to take this even further, you can begin to use quantum scene merging. This is where you stack your future memories on top of your current experiences, blurring the line between what was and what's already real. Example, you're walking to your car. Instead of thinking, this is my old beat-up car, you overlay the visual of stepping into your dream car. You hear the luxury door click. You smell the leather. You feel the engine purr as if it's already yours. This moment, this ordinary moment, becomes a portal, and your subconscious can't tell the difference. It begins to collapse time and bring the experience into now. Reality starts to shift, not in the future, but mid-step. This is advanced, yes, but if you've made it this far, you're not a beginner. You are a reality artist, a quantum architect, a conscious creator in command of your timeline. But now comes your next mission, not just to manifest for yourself, but to embody the proof so others can believe it's possible too. There is someone out there, right now, who has no idea how powerful they are, someone who's lost in anxiety, stuck in loops, on the verge of giving up. Your testimony, your transformation, could be their spark. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, go down to the comments and write this phrase: I am the miracle I've been waiting for. Let that be your declaration, your energetic signature, your signal to the universe that you're not just watching this, you're living it. And if you've already experienced a result, no matter how small, tell us below. Was it a shift in mood? A sudden opportunity? A manifestation that finally landed? Your story might unlock someone else's breakthrough, because what you share, you strengthen, and what you acknowledge, you expand. Final thought. Before you go back to your day or drift into your night, remember this: every night is a doorway, every assumption is a command, and every loop you fall asleep to is shaping your tomorrow. You are no longer a victim of unconscious programming. You're not a passive observer. You're a miracle magnet now, because you dared to imagine it, feel it, and become it. So tonight, don't just go to sleep. Go to creation. Close your eyes and whisper, "It's already done. I am already living it." Let the world catch up. And when you wake up, expect evidence, expect alignment, expect ease. You've planted the seed. You've fed it with feeling. Now, let it bloom. Don't forget, check mark tap. That like button if this connected with your soul. Hit subscribe if you want more videos like this, weekly SATS drops, quantum techniques, and inner rewiring methods that change your life. And share this with one person who's ready to activate their next level. Because the more we wake up, the faster the world transforms. And remember, this channel isn't just content, it's a movement, a frequency, a tribe of creators rewriting their reality every single night. You're part of that now. Your journey is unfolding, and we're only getting started. Comment below right now, "I am the miracle I've been waiting for," and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll go even deeper into the neural loop override technique, a tool so powerful it can erase limiting beliefs from the subconscious in minutes. Until then, close your eyes, feel it real, sleep like the miracle is already yours, because it is.